Gracias.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of The Plight of Princes. The bastard has tried to make me break face every time we pop a live camera for 3 or 4 years. The one time the fucker's actually not on one of the streams, he makes me break into a smile as we begin. So then, where we last left off, um, our party had begun to realize that they had journeys to go probably northward next on their attempts to find the Spires of Lakith. These are magical items which have some semblance of spell components within them and a
I don't think so.
school attached to
That's
them.
Apocrypha, this one.
These items have been asked for by the Lady in Red, a powerful Fey entity who's been assisting the party from Neverwinter. The party intends to bring back as many of them as they can, and they have been dotted on the map as to where some of them might be. So, this was late in the day. The party decides, you know what? Let's have an evening, which most of them do. And shenanigans, should I say. It essentially became a night of the lads as all the male characters went out on the sesh and proceeded to, in one form or another, get absolutely shagged. Uh, Serenus, Stillwind, after getting incredibly drunk and transforming into a bear, then had Wittick the Reforged on his back as they rode through Neverwinter. Wittick, unable to be inebriated Warforged, kept insisting, "This is fine, don't worry, I'm aiming the bear," until they found the red light district. In the morning, I will say it simply, Serenus Stillwind is no longer allowed in the red light district and was found bloodied and bruised with a broken nose and a black eye the next morning. Don't fuck with the ladies or they'll fuck you back. And they know how to fuck, they use strap-ons. So, aside from that, there was the arm wrestling challenges that Serenus, I believe, went under and did manage to win by turning into a bear to win gold. This was against a tiefling NPC named Journey, who it was seen that Kaerk, Journey, and Loyalty went off similar at a similar time, although Kaerk came back quite early. Loyalty came back very late, and it's close to afternoon, about midday right now, as the party have reconvened. Anyone who had gotten inebriated last night is very slow this morning, and loud noises are not fun. As most of them met up in the inn that they were staying in, the Wet Weasel, we'll call that one. You'll say you're in the Wet Weasel for this one. Yes, I just use alliteration for everything in Neverwinter. There's billions of pubs. I don't care, and they're
But
all
is this
anima
part of the
based.
Weatherspoons chain? I'm just wondering.
Weatherspoons has not yet infected Faerun. Don't worry.
Alright.
Not yet. Yeah, it's like a lich or a vampire cult. It's just building up. It's got to take its time.
That pub's gotten rather popular. It's called Starbucks.
No. The Gith tried to set that up, but they raided the city and it just didn't work. It just did not work.
Giggles and loyalty. I'm sorry.
Have a loyalty card. Anyway.
No, bucks. Think about it.
God damn it, honey. Well, he got bucked last night. So,
yeah.
whilst everyone was getting their brunch, a thaumaturgy had been used by an NPC named Nezanar, making many of the drunk people regret their life choices, seemingly very happy with himself. Nezanar began to speak with, I believe he was speaking originally with Kika and then with Wittick, if I'm correct. Kika he was speaking to about getting a package or something similar delivered up to Neverwinter, or not to Neverwinter, but up from Neverwinter.
Loskin.
Yes. And what was the specific instructions he gave you? Because he made an emphasis on these, so...
I know you got it written down because I have read it.
Are we all aware of that, or was that?
You were aware of this, Runara, because you would be in the tavern as well. He openly said this, but he privately then spoke to Wittick later.
Yeah.
Did he tell you anything
Dean
about this
probably is
box,
the
by
only
the
one who
way?
does.
In other words, don't open it. You go boom. No. Well, okay, if you wanna, if you're gonna see what'll happen if you try, but
No. I'm stupid, but not that stupid.
you're stupid, but you have enough wisdom to go, You're dumb enough to contemplate wrestling the bear, but then you realize it's a horrible idea.
It's like me in
And
real
What's
life.
up, bitches? I have neither int nor wisdom. Let's go.
please do not pick my locks to fight bears. Don't do that. I thought you just said 0 int and whiz for a second. Like I am No, I mean like not mod. I mean like 0 in the stat. It's like I am baby.
Oh, I love that game.
Bro.
Okay. And then Nezanar spoke to Wittick in private to keep and the screen camera cut for about 15 to 20 minutes or so until I managed to reconnect, to which it was simply a matter of keep an eye on someone for me. Something about them just doesn't rub me the right way. And he then left. And that's where we re-entered the scene. So then, what do you all like to do?
Well, I guess this is where we're going now.
Has King returned at some point?
King will return actually probably about, if not now, she'll return in like an hour or two. But for sake of ease, we'll say now.
Really?
She took some notes down so that she can just like finish the transcriptions as she travels. So it's only 2 hours of a travel that she needs to work on it.
Cool.
Right, so where are we going?
Well, it
Have I
was...
moved you over to the proper map yet?
We're on the world map,
We are on
which
the
is
Yeah,
world
we're
map.
on
which way we're going to
Mhm.
be.
Jesus, I've got to somehow tab out. Oh god.
Well, everyone says that we should go north before winter comes, so that's 2 places?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go set up by the teleport.
Wait, I wrote this shit down.
Yeah, we have to go
Um,
near Ironmaster, and then across to near Mirabar, right?
Yeah, because then we can go to
Yeah, that's
Luskan on the way.
most sensible order.
And then we can head south from there.
Or we can keep going that way.
Yeah, so we can go up. Selects pointer. We
Oh.
can go up and go to Luskan and do our little job that we need to do, and then we can.
We have to go very close to somewhere that I don't want to go to.
Oh, where's that?
Oh,
This
Come on.
doesn't exist on the map. Don't worry.
We don't know that's there. That's
As-
old characters.
as someone with knowledge of during his adventures, I feel like I would know about him a little bit.
You don't know his lair is not marked on maps. There's more there's more a 10-kilometer radius of signposts on any road going, don't continue on this road for your own safety in multiple languages.
That's fine, that's
I was
fine.
acutely aware that was there.
But I'm assuming I know of the dragon, just not of where he lives.
You're aware
towns.
of Old Snar. You just don't know where he
Okay.
is.
Then scratch that.
So,
It's one of those things of if you saw the signs of him, you'd immediately go, "Oh
Mm.
shit!"
Either way, we need to go north first. I'm
let's
master.
Let's start traveling. It's a long walk. I think. Do we get like, horses or anything? Or should we try and get some horses
We're
or a
travelling
cart or? Just a
I guess
Best
maybe
bet,
a cart would be a
Horses, you
good
say?
idea.
yeah, best bet would probably be a cart.
A
More
cart,
likely
a cart would
available
probably be
now than
cheaper than trying to get 7 horses.
We can get like 2 or 3 horses and a cart, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Probably cheaper.
I mean, I don't want to hold you guys down or anything, but I mean, is it all right if I tag along, if that's all right.
I
It's
mean,
very
I think
kind
most
of you
of us
to.
are tagging along, so
It's very sweet
more
of
the
you to
merrier.
do so. None of you have to stay if you don't want to.
King and the maids probably arrive.
No, go on, Nemo. You're okay.
Hello, everybody. I trust that everyone had a productive.
oh,
You can see that Serenus is bloodied and Loyalty is flustered.
Yeah.
Just drones that we don't want.
That was the real one.
I think some people had a productive night, so we say. It seems.
I didn't get up to much.
Cat,
Same.
does a
It
sort of
was,
little dance on your shoulder at the side of King and then jumps up onto her
Also
shoulder.
don't know, Cat is a raven.
Yep,
Just
need
get
to
used to
clarify
it.
that.
It was an interesting night, I'll say the least.
Well, let's get a car and you can tell us all about it on the way.
But maybe not.
oh come on! It sounds like it's a good story.
I take
Runara,
it
you
you
were
have to take our
there.
leave.
Runara, I will say this as well because most people were present at the call last time, but Posey, you weren't here at all for any Thistle character. But Runara,
Sorry,
Um,
I'm even in the right place.
yeah, Nesnar said just keep him away from the red light district for his own well-being. It's only because Nesnar was around that he is not MIA currently, and in several pieces. Those girls would have eaten him up.
Yeah,
Literally.
Severus, we really can't trust you when it comes to drinking any sort of beverage, can we?
Yeah.
Where's your-
Yeah.
The Queensland, we don't want that.
I'll keep an eye on you next time.
Very well. If we are to travel, shall we get provisions for the journey?
Yes, we will
Provisions, a cart.
spend some time trying and get a couple of horses.
Okay, who
a
wants to
cart.
make? We'll say this as well. I'll ask this, of course. Is you've yet to get your symbol from Sildar, King, for your disguises. Just to say that as well. And the rest of you still have to get provisions for the day. So King has to go do that. But whilst she does that, who would like to make investigation checks to find horses and cart? Usually the most simple thing to find in Neverwinter.
I will
But
help
considering most of it got Jaeger bombed, it's kinda.
I imagine that the two people capable of flight are probably gonna help with this.
someone. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll say
Before
that.
before
whoever
King
wants to-
leaves, she's
Use
going
my
to
nature.
Whoa, guys.
On the time.
King is going to hand Kika 10 gold coins and say that is for the provisions and whatnot.
Okay, that's a lot.
There is a lot of mouths to feed.
It's a long journey.
Okay.
So, nature won't help because you have to find people who will sell you horses, so you have to ask around.
Oh yeah.
As well
I
as
just happened to
carts.
think. We have a druid. He might be able to summon things, maybe. Or
He's
turn
level,
into
maybe
things.
not. But
He's level no.
Not at this level.
we're gonna need constant
I know you're
horses
used
24/7,
to having an
so-
NPC ally
I
in
know.
Blood and Sand who can just go, "Oh, you need horses? Sure, there you go, off you pop. Have them for a day."
If we didn't need 24/7 horses, just like a 2-hour horse, then maybe. But no, we need like, yeah.
Yeah.
I can go look around if no one
mean-
else wants to.
I'm willing to help.
Technically, I could pull the cart.
No,
You
it's
could,
fine.
but you will suffer exhaustion because you'll get to a point of. I know it's under your carry limit, but that doesn't mean that.
Stop debating this. We're buying horses and a car.
We're getting two big
You
old-
cheap fuckers, buy your horses.
It's the start of the campaign.
two
We're
big
buying a
horses,
horse and
We're
car.
getting a cart. I want a cart and I want some horses. Okay, we're doing this.
I mean, I don't mind wandering around. It's been a while since I've been here. I just want to I
Right.
just want to check out what's
Who,
changed around here. I
who
mean,
has the highest intelligence? That's investigation out of all of us.
The person who just went to go get their symbol.
Who has the second highest investigation out of all of us?
Nope.
I have a +2.
Right. I will
I
help
will
you.
say that
Actually-
people who
Oh my
are
god, do I have the
I have a +2 in investigation as well.
I
I'm a
will
minus
say
one.
that of everyone here, Posey, you would have the lowest DC, knowing a bit more about Neverwinter.
Yeah,
Pre-bombing.
I kind of know where I'm going.
Okay.
And
I'll-
we'll
Before I
assist.
go-
I'll assist because I
guidance.
can fly. So I'll
And
give,
guide-
I'll
Before
give
I go-
advantage.
I actually think of to give you an extra gold coin, so you've got 11. I'm going to leave 2 of my maids with you, as well as Cat.
You're right,
And say another important thing for our journey. If you could get a dice set,
Never mind. Just never mind.
You're right, love.
for our continued progression, shall
A
be
dice set.
if you could get a dice set, a playing card set, and a chess.
What?
Sure. Sure.
She wants tabletop night, guys. Don't hate.
You want games? Okay.
We need to get a travel set, a travel chest set with all magnetic pieces. Okay.
No, you get in the car. It's about
No-
this,
Right.
it's about this big.
Nothing,
A little travel
nothing
monopoly.
damages morale more than boredom.
Hey, well, when we've got Serenus to tell us about his escapades the whole journey, I don't think we'll ever be bored.
I mean, you're more going to be in trouble if you don't keep an eye on him constantly. So,
Okay,
Anyway,
I'll
kicking one of
say-
the maids is off.
okay. I'll say, Posey, if you don't mind, make an investigation check. You were granted advantage, and you have a guidance D4 because somebody's been watching Critical Role and realizes how fucking powerful that is. You cunt. I mean, we'd use it in fucking O-card if we had it.
Oh my god.
He has advantage.
I know. Oh Jesus.
15 this one.
Posey is
Well,
as
finally-
tired as I am.
Yeah. No, she looks a little haggard, but she's alright. The hair's only slightly not perfect. Okay, so are you looking for horses or are you looking for things like mules or donkeys?
Good question.
What do you
If
horses
we're gonna
do?
have a cart, then we want things that can pull them.
You want some good strong workhorses that can pull a cart.
Horses are generally
Draft
stronger.
horses then?
Not
That's the
draft
word.
horses. They're not pulling a freaking
Yeah,
not
we don't
farming
we don't need to pull
equipment.
machinery.
Okay, just
Well-
to clarify, at our level, donkeys and mules are more common because they're pack animals. Horses are rather expensive.
We've got money. Don't worry.
Yes, they are.
we'll find
I
out.
will say that there's a difference of 42 gold pieces between a draft horse and a mule.
How much is a draft horse?
And more expensive than a draft horse.
A draft horse is 50 gold pieces, a mule is 8.
Well,
Mules
50
not
gold,
bad
yeah.
because a mule is.
They
half-
can still
half-
carry
half donkey, half
420.
horse. So they're
Uh,
still fairly
a
strong.
single mule can still carry 420 pounds, and yes, that is actually the written rule. So blaze it. So if they had a cart, that'd be if you had 3 to 4 mules. So if you spent maybe 4, well, I'll say this as well, Posey, you can definitely find some of the because they were in the more undamaged areas, and you're familiar of where it was and wasn't really badly hit. You managed to go to some of the stables, which, whilst horses are currently at a high cost, because of course they are, due to the current issues that have happened. A lot of people need horses for messengers and things like that. So stable hands are busy enough with those, but mules. And aside from doing work around the city of just pulling waste and rubble and removing it from the city, most of those could probably be purchased. And with who some of you are, it's helpful that your status can assist you in getting it. And you can very easily get your 4 donkeys or mules, so 4 of them, at 8 gold a piece. That would be 32 gold total. And all in all, that would be able to pull, if you were to get them and a cart to match them, and a cart would cost you about 15 gold pieces. If you wanted to get any barding to your animals as well, that will quadruple the cost, but that's another expense.
That's armor.
Yeah, no, I'm aware, and that's for them. If you wanted to get a wagon that you'd have a bit more space, you could probably pull that as well, but that's 35 gold pieces. So between a cart, which is 15 gold, a carriage, which is 100 gold, or a wagon, because that's really what you guys are looking for. The wagon
So,
being
how much
35.
money do we actually have for this endeavor?
We could get a wagon in like 4 donkeys to put it.
That would be
Because one donkey.
67 gold.
Yeah, I'll get it.
We've
I'll buy
got
it.
we've been given 11 from King. I'm not lying when I say that Kika has 0 gold on her person.
How much?
Don't worry.
How
Runar
much is it
sold
for?
a fucking necklace, remember?
How much is it for the four donkeys in the wagon? You say 7.
67.
Yeah, I'll buy the horses and shit, and then you can spend that 10 gold on supplies.
Okay.
Okay. So
Find me where you got that money from?
We got it from wherever we looted a couple of sessions ago, where I know someone got gold, someone got I got silver, and someone found some copper.
And I got copper.
I've got 800
She got the
silver,
copper,
which
so
Which
is
is why I have
80 gold.
I have a lot of copper, but I don't
Ah,
know what the calculation is to convert it.
It's 10,
100
10, 10. Just
100
yeah.
copper for
remove
one
a
gold.
0.
remove 2 zeros. That's how much gold that is.
So sorry. So for 4 donkeys, a wagon, and some barding and whatnot.
Barding is going to be. Barding will make. Give you an idea. It's
You need
either
bit and
4
bridle, don't
mules for 32.
I mean,
Oh,
like,
a bit and bridle is actually a different
Yeah,
cost.
a bit and
This is what-
bridle is the thing that you need to actually control them.
the shit,
yeah.
the shit you need to control the wagon.
Is the bit
Yeah,
and the
the
bridle.
bit and the bridle would be for you need an additional 8 gold to cover all
That's
4
fine.
donkeys.
I'll
So
get it
that's
all.
another 8 on top of that. That'll bring your total cost to 75.
I'll do it. That's fine.
Cool.
Done.
Lovely.
But he's like, okay, yeah, we have the money.
He's like, do we have the money? Okay, we have the money.
Yeah, but then Kiko, you could spend that 11 on
I guess we have
food,
money.
supplies,
Yes.
feed for the donkeys, food for us.
Yeah, we'll need.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long is the journey going to be? I suppose is a good question. I mean,
Well,
in
assuming
theory,
we
we can resupply at Luskan before we carry on.
You could.
Yeah, what, like from here to Luskan, how many?
That's
Hey, it's trouble.
125 miles roughly.
Let me look up the rules on travel because it's been a while. Because you guys had a fucking bird that just decided we're here now,
It's
and
been a
That's
you were
what
while.
just
endgame's like, yo.
you had that for.
That was the-
I gave
that
you
wasn't
that.
even
Why am I
endgame.
saying this? Yeah, no. I was like, why am I getting mad? I gave it to you.
I was very happy. It was one of my wish lists for D&D.
I know it was. That's why you got it. Love you too.
Yay.
Travel. 181. Even somebody who's been at this 6 years still has to go back to the book every now and again.
This is the coveted math session.
Math session.
8 hours per day travel.
Let's see.
How far is that?
Let's see. You
I
could
need to get
get.
an overlay for my webcam. That has
If you were doing a normal pace, you could do 24 miles a day.
So that's
Okay, so,
roughly 5.5 days.
5.5 days.
5 minutes.
Okay, I'll get a
days.
week. I'll get a week's worth.
You'd get to Port Last by tomorrow night if you left about now.
Yeah, we're like halfway through the day now, aren't we? So
Yes.
Because it's a port, it may not necessarily have everything we want. It might be more of a fishy thing. Don't know.
yeah,
So I'll
if
just
we can
Make a history check.
if we can get a week's worth here,
If I can get a week's worth for that much money, then I will.
A day's worth of rations for a single person is 5 silver pieces, to be clear.
yeah, but it's got feed per day for an
Need
animal,
feed for the
5
donkeys
copper.
as well.
It's cheap, much cheaper.
So we're doing 10 copper, which is what 2 silver per day. For
They'll
7
also eat on the way. It's more for when they can't graze, and
True.
some areas are just like that. They can't.
Yeah. Thankfully, you're
So
going to
it's
be
good to have
right
some
next.
backup.
Yeah, it's good to have your backup. We'll say that if you want to just put down, 4 silver for it, you could do that, and that would definitely get you to Port Last. If you wanted to put down a gold piece, you could cover them all the way up to Luskan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kika, I will let you know, Kika, with your check, all you're aware about Port Last is that it is a shipping It's basically a shipping port. It's a coastal town that has had a distinct issue of people constantly attacking it.
Oh, cool.
Stay clear of there.
Mostly just, this was older years kind of information. This is more like a reputation, like how a city might still be called Stab City, even if its crime rate dropped in the last 3 decades.
Yeah. Well, based off the map, it looks like you do have to come off the main road in order to get there, so it is something that you'd have to sidetrack off to go to. So
I mean, we might as well stop there rather than like, if you're going to get there at night time.
yeah, we might as well, but we'll get the stuff just in case because we need it, so we might as well just buy it.
Yeah.
So if it's a gold for the pet animal food, then I've got 10 gold left for rations.
Our provisions and whatnot.
I'm just taking a look now at rations for a day, and let's see, food and water.
Rations for a day are 5 silver pieces per person.
5 silver pieces per person. So if it takes about 5 days, that's 25 silver pieces. That's 2.5 gold for.
How many of us are there?
That's for one
9
person. 2.5 gold. So 2.5 gold times 9 will bring you up to what's that?
Right, it says. Wait, is there 9 of us?
I'm just watching girls doing the math.
There's what,
I can't do math.
Winnie
How
doesn't need to eat, correct?
how many?
It's the fact that
It's
the counting on the fingers. It's like there's 7 of us. No, there's 8 of us. No.
It'd be
Wait, no, wait.
22.5 gold for all of you.
Are you including the maids?
Oh, then that would add on
And
another. That's 9 is including Kayak because you have Ulot, Kayak.
There's 7 of us. Okay,
Okay,
it's 8.
Oh, that's 8. Then 9.
then-
Yeah, there is 7. I'm not crazy.
Yeah, there's 7
then-
of us. Kayak is 8.
And then
Wittick,
4
does
four,
Wittick have to eat? Is that a racial thing?
Wittick doesn't eat.
Nah.
Wittick
That
doesn't
brings
eat.
us down to
That
7 plus
reduces it.
4, which is 11. And what was it? 2.5
So 11
gold each?
people, so it would be
So 27.
27.5 gold. So if you wanted to just, have a little bit of more than just bland food, you could throw down 30, and you'd have just comfortable, decent food. You're not having just rations. Sometimes you get dried pork and shit that you can
Okay, well,
mix
10,
in with your food.
well, 10 of that is the 10 that King gave us. So
Can anyone else chip in?
I have no money.
How much? Is
So wait,
that
how much
cost?
is it?
We need another 20 gold to slap down.
I still have 95, so I can chip in.
Sitting in the
How
corner.
much money?
Hello,
I
this
have
is
no
Money Banks.
money. I have no money. I'm not even like, oh, I've got 10 copper. I have no money. 0, 0, 0, 0.
You can imagine the stress I'm under.
I'm very small.
She's a bird.
I will also say this, that it will cost a silver piece for any one of your gaming sets. So, if you wanted, also Serenus apparently is starting to drink white wine, so somebody should stop him.
If he
But
physically starts drinking, I will physically stop him. At any point.
No, the nose hurts.
Fucking Runara with the
it's-
vibe check.
It's helping right now.
She's a cleric. That's her job.
She help. Yeah, 3 silver pieces would do your dice games then, and your card deck as well.
Ah, shit, I spent all the money on food.
I heard people mention gold. I can give 7 gold pieces to this. Will that help?
Also, don't forget that you had winnings last night, Serenus.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I spent all the money on food. Can someone get the gaming sets?
A lot went to the raffle.
I gave you a
That's
letter
all I'm gonna
in
say.
Yeah, I spent 10 on the people food and 1 on the donkey food.
How much was it for the gaming sets?
3 silver pieces.
Total, yeah?
I'll pay that.
Total, that's for all of them.
We're gonna get that then, I guess.
Just so that you guys are aware, I am adjusting my my coffers to include that 20 that I gave. So
Makes
Well,
a
you-
quick,
Yeah.
makes a quick
You
note on
put
character
it
sheet.
for
Kika is
the
bad
food.
with money.
Kika is not bad with money. It's just she's got her mom, so whenever she needed money, it would just be a case of "Mom," and just money bags would look over, going, "Yes,
Yeah.
there you
say,
go."
say that again.
Literal
Kev?
money.
Stacey, you put in 20 in for provisions, yeah? Or
Yes.
Okay, well, then
which,
there
I,
we go.
which I just
Yeah.
said. So,
Yeah, so we've got
but
the
I'm just saying so that we're all on the same page.
Brilliant.
That I'm
Brilliant.
taking the 20 out of my coffers. for that.
Perfect. So we've got the 10 from King / Kika,
Yeah.
and then the 20
Yeah,
from Lo, and that's our 30 Gs.
for the food.
For
You've bought the donkeys in the cart.
You've got food.
King's bought put money towards people food and donkey food.
Oh, well, I can't.
Should we get?
I've launched out my missile.
Can I get a couple of rolls? A couple of like
Quickly turned around.
coils of rope.
You
Just-
can't.
Just like 2 coils of hemp rope.
Throw down 2 silver for that.
Sweet. I'll put that down. Rope.
One day, these people who are sending in us jobs might actually pay us something. I joke. They've actually been very generous with some of the stuff they've given us.
Yeah, you got a magic item that is a disguise self as will, motherfucker, and also counts as a badge of authority. Shut your mouth. Also, none of you thought to ask the king and be like, "Hey, can we get a bit?" It's like, "Oh yeah, somebody just throw that on a tab. Here's 100. That should fix you."
That's because we have fucking manners.
Part of me doesn't want to.
Can we have money, please?
We did that last campaign. Part of me wants to actually pay for our own shit for once.
Yeah.
There's a reason. There's a reason he said it can go on my wife's tab, not his, because he's learned his lesson with your parents.
It's fucking manners. You don't just go up to the king and go, "Yo, give us money."
Yeah, that's not.
He's basically your granddad. He would give it,
Still doesn't matter.
and he'd give you that. No. It's your granddad. So all you have to do is just say, "Oh, we're gonna go out and get some things now," and he goes, "Oh, what's that here? Have 100 gold and here's some hard sweets."
Even
Can
then,
we go get nuggies?
Oh,
You always
nuggies.
get nuggies.
even then, you're kind of pushing. You're kind of pushing on the gratitude, the generosity there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big time.
So now we're
Good
too
idea.
we're too new for this.
Your baby still.
Stingy!
Yeah,
No!
we have a question.
Yes, Narrowin. How can I help
May
you?
I have an arm blade?
I actually noticed that there's a break
Please.
Oh, there, blade.
Have you looked? Have you looked up the price tag of your arm blade?
Oh yeah, no, I can't afford it right now. It's
I
50 gold.
want it.
That's a more fitting request. Can we have a party loot that we
Sure.
can put in? But make the wagon the party loot for now.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
1,300.
Good
Yeah,
shout.
no, because I looked it up here. Crafting common magic items. Any other common magic item other than a potion of healing or a spell scroll. 32 hours to basically be made, and it costs 50 gold pieces.
Oof.
Hey, if you want to
Yeah.
join Okar, I can make one overnight.
Hey.
On my officer.
Crossing the streams, dude.
Test.
I've always said happen because if Thane ever showed up in this world, he'd immediately be adopted. Okay, you should be able to edit to that party loot table. I left it at the top there.
I'm on it.
Cool.
Well,
And Kay is back being party loot.
Hey.
I mean, for this
Party
hasn't-
treasure.
yeah.
Hey,
I mean, you're the hoarder as well. It helps.
Kay is the only one who has the math-related brain cell. So
Hey,
he gets to
fuck
keep
you.
that.
I just don't like using it.
So I
No.
genuinely,
We share
I
one, and
gen-
Kay has it.
I genuinely have dyscalculia, so I struggle with it. So
I do math in that relation.
What's the difference between a donkey and a mule? Are they the same thing?
Literally the exact same cost.
In the game, they have no difference, but in real life, a mule is actually half donkey, half horse.
Do we have donkeys or mules for reference?
Mules.
Mules. We get little half breeds. They're cute.
Goddamn half-breeds.
Shut up,
They're
robot.
actually a lot healthier usually.
Yeah,
Generally
normally.
considered better animals.
Like most things, the half-breed is usually the healthier and better option.
Yeah.
That's why the common phrase is a pack mule.
Yep.
Mhm. Don't purebreed your animals. Let them crossbreed. Also, you get wonderful combinations. It's like the weird Pokemon
We have like
mixes.
4 of these mules, which is
You
way
mean
more
like
than you
a
need to
husky
put a
corgi?
cart. But anyway,
I will buy one day, Nero, and shut your mouth.
No,
Okay.
I'm saying that. It's
Yeah,
fucking
no, it's
good shit.
it's wonderful. So,
Like, oh, I
King.
can have a husky, but in small form.
me,
Oh.
yes.
yes. So you make your way to. Have you changed or disguised yourself in any?
I've got one. I've only got one of my maids with me, but I have put the cloak up as
Okay.
per request, which looks odd because of the crown.
Yeah, because you currently got the spindles at the top.
Yeah.
You make your
Cool
way
guy.
in. Hoodies. It's like Sauron if someone threw a fucking drape over him.
I'm just typing.
Yep.
So
I would say that Lo would have
£1.
Mask of Many Faces on anyway, just as a point of habit. So
yeah, I'm saying that for you. I presume that for him, so that's fine. King, I've had to ask because the fucker sometimes just goes, "No, I'm surrounded by 50 zealous knights, but I look like a zombie."
I'm proud of who I am.
I admire that, but my NPCs don't.
Yeah.
I have some xenophobes in
Beautiful,
here.
no matter what they say.
and I'm just being
Words can't bring you
polite.
down, but their bolts can. So stop it. So,
and I'm just being polite.
so you make your way in. After speaking about it, speaking to someone at the door, guards go to check. You're ushered in. You don't speak or meet with either Torin or Sildar or anyone else, but the amulet is provided to you, and it is just a small badge that is a crest of Neverwinter, which once you decide to attune to it can be used to cast disguise self at
Righto. I'll make a note of that, and I will politely thank them for their wonderful gift.
You're then ushered out, you'll leave, and for anyone curious, I'll just post this right over here. It looked like dead.
Ooh.
That's Kristen Neverwinter. So, is there anything anyone else wants to do in the city before leave?
Right. I need to get. So, is there anywhere I may be able to purchase booze?
Renara, he's off again.
I was off finding the wagon and the mules. So.
Yeah, you guys were off doing that, and he just went, "I'm gonna go get booze." Any bar will sell you it over the top. The only difference is rather than just a normal serving being with a few coppers or silvers, this will be up to like 2 to 4 silver for normal drinks because you're taking a full bottle. Like usually these aren't things like beer bottles of our day. These are big fuckers that things are poured into, or casks that can be bought. Casks are very expensive. Bottles are liter bottles and will cost anywhere between 2 to 4 silver for most things. Going expensive is where you go into double digit or triple digit gold category. But right now you're in the silver. You want to get fucked up. I know that's all you want to do, and the cheap shit does that.
But fast wine, here I come.
You acquire your ye olde box wine.
I was about to say that.
You box wine.
Which possibly actually comes in some sort of crate.
Yeah.
Right. I will go to the. Preferably not the one I went to the night before. Another.
Mark off 5 silver, by the way.
Wait, 5 silver.
For your box wine.
Yeah. So I have gone and brought some stuff.
Yeah. Well, you said you were.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Yeah. So yeah.
I don't know if you didn't want to. You don't have to.
No. I do. So I want to get I'd say a nice amount, not like I'd say like one under each arm.
research.
kind of.
Okay, so you have 2 things of box wine under your arm each.
Yeah. So how much would that be?
Each one of those probably run you about 8 silver.
Got it.
Hey, a crowbar.
A random person who's fixing up the city. Oh look, a crowbar.
Crowbar. I would say that Lo would be somewhat distracted while setting up the cart, sort of trying to look around various alleys and look to see if...
Looking paranoid.
Well, looking somewhat paranoid, but at the same time looking out for Joe. Trying to... sort of trying to hide the fact that he's looking for Joe, but at the same time being very, very obvious.
Anyone who looks at him realizes he's looking for Joe, but knows he's making an effort to not look like he is.
Yeah, but just generally being an awkward git.
I will say you do not see, you don't see Joe in this part of the city. You're by the north gate and around that area, and you don't see him anywhere. Runara?
Can I buy a hooded lantern as well?
Mm-hmm. Throw down a silver for that.
Cool. So we can like hang it on the top of the cart if we're traveling at night, you know.
I like this girl.
Am I a joke to you?
Yeah.
Wow.
I
not gonna
literally
hang
have
you
a
on the
candle that
cart?
doesn't go out of my chest.
We're not going to hang you on the cart. You're too heavy.
What if you're not going to be watching every 24 hours of every day? You might want to rest at some point. You still need a long rest.
I literally am still
besides,
entirely awake.
Yeah, but what you want
Think
to
of it
sit
like
up-
this, guys. Think of it like this. He can instead light any torches he has or any candles off of the ever-burning torch. It's
Yeah.
like, hang on a sec.
I mean, I can light up the lantern. I just want something to store a light cantrip to light up the way while you're resting.
what she's saying, dude,
Look, I've
is
got an
that she
aspect.
doesn't want you to tire yourself out. She's trying to be polite.
But
You've
take
never
that.
seen a robot do a sass head shake at you, but one just did.
I said I was not going to play the support character, and here I am.
Too
doing
late!
Emotional support!
Look, Wick, I'm the light domain cleric here. I'm the light person. You keep your candle away from me.
Calm down,
don't take
kids,
candle.
calm down.
Like,
Lady and robot, please, you're both beautiful.
That's
We
my
all
thing.
know that our party has all of the celestial bodies covered.
I'm aware.
Okay.
Celestial bodies, huh?
Yeah, sun, moon, and stars, right here.
I think that's enough. I think I'm done for my purchasing.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, Bluebird, you don't know what went through this head.
Unfortunately, I do.
You hear Kayak from the other side of the cart. I do! And he does the whole lean thing where it's just the beak up in the air. I do!
Right. Is everyone
Basically.
here? So we keep going.
If you're not here, raise your hand. Widdick, put down your hand.
Serenus and King, are they back?
King returns, yes, and
Do you make your way over to them now, Serenus, with your 2 things of wine then to the party?
I'm gonna put it into my I'm gonna hide it a
Make
bit behind my.
a sleight of hand check to hide your wine. He thinks
yes.
he's being really sneaky, but his jacket's open and you can see the crates on either side as he's doing this to hold them. And
Ah, yes, Serenus, that's a big breakfast you just had.
Oh, these are
You got some supplies.
these are just boxes. Don't worry about them.
make a deception check.
Oh no.
A guy with a broken nose, he can't lie that well.
Cross a face though. I've never seen Cross make a mom face before.
It makes it even better with the glasses.
Oh, I just need to wrap this. I just
Being
inject that
judged
face.
by Kay is like that's a level that you have reached.
Yeah.
Wild.
Okay, I feel as if I'm passing a gauntlet down, but welcome to Ashka.
Enjoy your stay.
Congratulations on your
I'm
new
not-
children.
I'm just gonna awkwardly just move close to the wagon and like put them down and get inside.
Okay, Serenus, listen to me now. You know what happens when you drink that all at once? Okay?
Yeah. My master told me that he said I had this weird thing where I couldn't stop drinking. I haven't. This is yeah.
King
This is some of
returns
the
in a
first
big
times I've
bug.
drank in a while, and I forgot how much it tasted good.
So
Yes,
what you're
King?
saying? So what you're saying is you want us to keep an eye on you.
Yes.
Going fast. What's that?
Not King.
Uh,
King
King
wanted to say
returns
something
with a big funny hood, and she says, "I believe the condition you're referring to is alcoholism."
Ah.
Ah.
there. Now the Okar party manifests. Ah.
Ah.
Save that for tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
Blue. You'll
Leave
need
it
that. You'll need it.
No, I've got actual alcohol for tomorrow.
As
We're crossing
everything's
the streams.
getting
We're crossing the streams. This is cross contamination.
as everything's getting prepared, the maids seem to have some passing knowledge of how to care for animals and stuff. Before they were
Mhm.
slaves, they were actually maids. Go
Mm.
figure.
Wait.
Um.
I've just realised.
Anyway, and now they're maids again.
Saranus, what was your epiphany?
Hold the phone.
Hmm.
We have animals now. Yes.
We have animals.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
You have
speaking.
one.
How many do we have?
Oh no.
Four.
We have 4 donkeys.
Four.
That's mules.
Yes. Do it.
Front left one. I'm going to name it Sven. So Sven, Ross, Ironwood, Kevin.
Done.
It's in the notes, so
It's
it's
written down. It's done now.
So I'm going to guess that is top left, top right,
front
bottom
left, front right,
bottom.
back left, back right.
Yeah.
All together, Cirque.
But yes,
I'm
I'm
going
going
to
to be
start
casting a
with-
ritual while we're getting.
I'm going to start with by giving Sven a bit of a ruffle. Be like, good. It's good, Sven. Good, Sven.
We have sealed these animals' fates now. We've named them.
Posey decides that Kevin is her favorite and immediately goes and starts like being like, "Hello."
Be invested. Be invested.
I'm,
It'll be
I'm,
more
dra-
fun
I'm,
when
dra-
I
I'm
get
drawn
meet
to
you.
Ironwood.
I was, I knew you would.
Here they
Look at
are.
those donkeys.
Sven's mine. We'll protect
I'm,
Sven.
I'm nicknaming him
Ads
Woody.
reindeers are better than people.
Donkeys are better than people.
Strong agree.
Right.
Sorry,
are
my
naming
brain,
our
my brain
donkeys.
just went, okay, we bought a cart, we need some donk on it. Okay.
Gotta get that done.
Gotta get that sing donk.
DK Donk.
Now, excuse me while I Google different fur patterns because they all need to be a different colour.
This is it. This is the game now.
Now we're finding,
Like, what am I doing?
profile pictures of the donkeys.
We character sheets for each donkey with stat blocks.
They're donkeys. If I look at them wrong, they're gonna fall over.
No, okay. Shall we get going on our journey?
Yeah.
Dude, so I can kill these donkeys before you get
I'm
invested.
gonna get in the cart.
Okay. Who is steering the car?
I should not be responsible
Either
for
someone
lives
with
of
animal
others.
handling or proficiencies.
Hey,
6 animal handling right
I
here.
guess-
I'm proficient in it.
Also, an alcohol problem though.
I will go sit up front.
Okay, so Serenus and Runara sit up front.
Yeah.
Never
That's
ever.
smart.
Serenus, are you going to be the first example of never ever drink and drive?
The first ever, you're
Are
saying?
you,
No one in this world
You're
is driving.
saying this is the first time I've rode a wagon and didn't drink. There is a reason why I was barred from other places.
And thankfully, those places are so far away that you'll only be able to encounter them when you're about level 8.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the donkey sanctuary and there's a donkey called Tiny Tim.
Guys, we gotta get out of here.
Sorry.
Stop.
I found a picture for Ross. This is Ross.
Save the donkey for after. Save the
Ross
donkey
is
for
the black
after.
one.
What happening back?
Ross is the black one.
The first fan our Pop will have is the donkey.
Stop the fucking donkey.
Wait, are the donkeys
Not
or
these
mules? I thought we said they were
wonderful
I thought we said they were
characters.
mules.
Donkeys.
Stacey, you got to add 4 more tokens to your work.
Are they
No, I'm
donkeys
joking,
or
I'm
mules? I
joking.
thought they were mules.
They're mules.
Okay.
But... Okay, forget about the mules.
Right,
No,
okay,
I
let's
refuse.
leave. Let's go.
And do not compare any donkey named Ross to that Ross. That is a bad Ross.
Donkey mules.
We will just head northward
Mm-hmm.
along the King's Road.
Let's get out of here.
Right. And with that,
Right.
I hit them and we start riding. Like, let's go.
Yeah. Okay. So it's going to be Serenus and Runara mostly keeping watch because you are the two at the front. And whilst you guys are doing that, let's see now. I know there was rules there. Will you be going at a normal pace?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we're going to be normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's 8 hours of travel.
The only thing about your lot that's normal is your pace.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, Team Normal is right here.
I think
Let's
I'm
go,
pretty
Dad.
normal. I don't know what you're talking about.
You were drunk.
You can turn into a bear.
I am going to sit on the back of the wagon. However, as a ritual, like I was saying, I was casting before. I'm casting something, and suddenly a strange sort of ghostly disc appears.
Haha.
As you
Da-da-da!
cast 10 size floating disc.
It can hold 500 pounds.
That's all
And
of
it
your
just
mates.
follows me.
Let's be honest, it's all of your mates plus another person. Okay, so do you guys at a normal pace? Let me get a perception check off of Runara. And can I get a perception check off of Serenus as you are the two at the front? Meanwhile, feel free to roleplay.
I bless myself. Or bless guidance, you know the one.
Another one. I mean, by all means, bless yourself, you know.
Bless yourself.
I'd spend it hard in parents. I can't.
You didn't win. Okay, so you have a 20, which is great, and Serenus is a 14. Okay. As you guys make your way up the higher, thank you for the high. It's like the wizard's background.
Been there.
Everyone's been there. There's also like that inert experience as anyone who's a squishy that realizes that danger is approaching and they have no armor and goes, "My armor!" Just like lizards are just slapping it on themselves. Starskin! Boulder! So, as you are progressing, you have one of those like very scenic views as you're traveling because you do have the sea out on your western side that leads out into lands that are unknown, lands that are far, far away. And it's, for the first day, it's beautiful, scenic. About halfway, so say closer towards what will be 6 p.m. Bearing in mind that you maybe have only 3 hours or 4 hours at most left of sunlight to this point. Or like, just starting to get dusk. you do eventually encounter travelers on the road. Several people with wagons, trade goods, and these kind of people who are going from Port Lost towards Neverwinter.
Before we get to this, can I do my disguise self? Because I would have done that when we got out.
Gladly, you can absolutely do that.
When we're going out on the road, I'm going to take off my hood, revealing my horrific form.
Spoopy, spelly, spellin'.
And I'm going to be hold my new thing, my new knick-knack that's going to let me disguise myself.
The crest of identity.
Crest of identity. Nice. I'm going to look over at Serenus. And
Yes.
then before you,
I cannot do
you're going to see King's hair go blue. Eyes go less of that pale, creepy green and more of a emerald.
Oh, hello.
And
Two over there.
most importantly, your bone will become wooden, muscle will become mossy, and veins will become vine. Now she now looks like she's a half dryad elf.
A very Sylvan approach.
I like.
Very pretty.
Liking the new look.
There's two over
Hey.
there on this ledge.
I felt this would
Nice.
cause.
Very pretty.
I felt this would cause less panic while still maintaining my aesthetic.
Do you want some of my
Yeah.
flowers?
Aesthetic.
Gives,
That would be most welcome, thank you.
gives summer flowers. Incorporates.
You now have
Friends.
summer flowers.
Is it hairstyling or is it pruning plants?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where that line is, and I don't really want to find out.
At what point does this become botany?
So basically, worth to
body
note that
Give King a chance to speak, folks. I know everyone's
Sorry.
giggling.
although it does look a little, it might take you aback. It's not exactly scary now that I'm more of a tree person than a dead person. I am actually the exact same shape I was before, so at touch you'd probably say, that texture wasn't quite what I was expecting, but at the same point because I have a big hole in me, if anyone was to try and touch me, there would still be that hole there. It's just
Yeah.
I'm picturing enemies trying to encounter you and stab at you and literally passing straight through you.
Huh?
And then there's
well,
like
that
that
would be
moment
good.
of like the Amanda Bynes getting hit in the balls thing where she's pretending to be a guy going, oh, 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 oh.
But no, because I'm the exact same shape, that they wouldn't do that because they could actually see where the gap was because there's still a gap. You get my meaning?
I get what you mean.
It just looks like it's made of wood, not bone, basically.
Yep, wood and vines and
Yeah. Nature instead of undead.
You now look like somebody fucked up a dryad.
looks like an elf and got a little overboard with the druid magic.
You got
Oh,
wood.
better the dryad than a nymph.
That's where my brain went. But
Oh no, a nymph's an entirely different thing.
No, the thing that she
I-
linked.
Yes, that's not entirely inaccurate.
Hmm. Stream can't see it.
Anyway.
stream, if you want a reference.
Honey, no.
No, okay.
Stopping this tangent train right there.
Sorry, I'm gonna stop.
Cover me the crab.
I yeet the tangent train.
That is very nice, though.
So, it is beautiful though. So, as you guys are traveling, travelers do eventually make their way past you, making their way towards Neverwinter. Does anyone want to stop to speak to one of them as they pass, or are you just going to let them pass?
Give them a nod on the way past, but nothing to say to them.
Let's see.
I hope they know what they're about to walk into.
See.
There's a couple people might have
Cozy
set up.
and Runara, give me insight checks.
Immediately, like, stop what I was saying.
Another one over there.
Insight. Okay.
Inside.
Nice.
I mean, for myself, I'm not going to say it, but I feel like
Oh, nice.
I'll be guiding myself for every skill check I do.
Behold, the one skill I have.
And it's a +3.
And it's a +3. My stats are not very good.
But you were wonderful. Anyway,
And see if we get our drones killed.
so it seems like some of the people seem a little bit nervous or on edge as they're passing you. Like if they haven't been roughed up, it looks more like they're just freaked out by something. Like there's the kids are like not let like how they usually are. They're not let like just run about the sides of the carts or anything. Like they're kept towards it because a few of them, they're like 2 or 3 carts. The kids are kept around by people, and the few travelers that have weapons, they don't brandish them, but they always have like weapons to the hand, and they're glancing about. They do, have that walking past a stranger thing where instead of just going into lines, they just do the kind of like, we're going to move this way a little bit on the road, trying to give you pass.
Are they looking at us or are they watching behind them?
Both.
Okay.
You're a bunch of new weird people, but it also looks like they've seen some shit.
Call out to them as we're sort of approaching. Hello?
So what you see is, let's see now, which reference? Which reference? Well, that's yours. Who knows? Let's see. Let's see, what's good? You see a male dragonborn. He's kind of got this almost maroon coloring to their scales they pass. There's points where the scales, over time have just like either been worn down or picked away, but they're a broader, bulkier individual. It looks up. Yes.
Any news from Port Last or further north?
Make a persuasion check.
Guidance.
Guidance.
No, I remember reading online. It doesn't have to be
That's an
a
8.
single one. You could do like 5
It's an
and
8.
then 5 later, but
There's just some weird things on the road up ahead. A strange man chasing a strange thing, and
Oh. How far ahead?
about half a day ahead of us they were. The creature nearly beset on us, but the man was chasing after it and just kept running.
nice.
It was a bizarre, scary thing.
Yes. Don't know what it does.
Great.
If
To
Can
this
we
man,
try-
and I'll describe to them. What is the name? Forgetting me now.
Gregor.
Our werewolf friend.
Gregor.
Yeah, Gregor.
Hey.
Yeah. I don't know why my
Yeah.
brain just fucking.
Did the creature resemble a bear?
The creature did not. So, firstly, you described Gregor, and he goes, "Yeah, that was the man. Yes, that was
Okay,
the man."
so Gregor was chasing.
Oh, cool.
What did this creature look like?
It looked like a man, but its flesh was all. It was. You didn't see any flesh. It was just muscle. It was spindly,
Literally as they spawn,
and it leapt through the air. It's where its eyes should have been were massive, and as it begins like trying to describe it, the dragonborn begins getting more and more freaked out and just shrugs away and just like waves its hands up as like I'm done, and just begins moving.
Thank you for the warning. We'll keep an eye out.
If you mentioned that there was children with them,
Yes, they're like in the center of the cart, and the kids are like some of them are like still doughy-eyed at some of you guys because I mean sparkly birds and Posy and all these kind of things, but they're definitely being like more or less caged around by women and other like elderly men in the cart and things like that.
if you would forgive me for this, because I can't really describe this because I am not charismatic. I want to actually say that Lo will attempt to sort of start doing the sort of kids performer routine to try and
Make
cheer them
a
up
make a
little
cheap and
bit.
cheerful performance check.
Well, failing that, we can still go for 20 runs.
It's a +6. You try to do something to entertain the kids, and like you do a big flare and sit yourself up. And as you do, you fall off the side of the cart, and some of the kids do laugh as you do. You kind of like do the whole tumble thing, head over heel, as you do, and just the poof of grass and everything up around. Some of the kids do get a laugh off that, like some of the smaller ones, because let's be honest, physical comedy is hilarious.
I didn't mind that one bit because as long as the kids got a laugh out of it.
A few of them did. Like some of the older ones didn't, but like there's like some that are 4 or 6 years old, somewhere around that ballpark. They were definitely being able to get a chuckle out of it.
That's the main thing.
Sure.
Lo will try and keep the hair up and try and adjust himself and try and carry on with the routine just to see if he can get a few smiles out of the kids.
There's only like a minute or so as you guys pass between each other as these people are talking. Like they briefly stop and then they briefly move on again.
Yeah.
And when
sorry, Han.
When the Dragonborn... Oh, sorry, no, you were going.
It's like the performer on the carnival floats type thing. It's like they just falling off the carnival float and just restore the health, flourish, get back on the cart.
Yeah.
Hey, Squidward.
Yeah.
Oh
no. When the Dragonborn describe the individual, began describing it, like some of the older mothers were just like, covering the kids' ears as they were. So, yeah. You guys make your way, and you're about half of the way up the road now by the time you're there. So, you're somewhere in this ballpark, because you still got about that day left for your travel. So, you're somewhere about here on the road. When it gets about 10 o'clock at night, it's the point of you need to start using the lanterns and the lights just to be able to see what the fuck's going on around you.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time, what do you do?
We will pull off the road slightly, try and find a flat space to maybe set up camp.
Not difficult to do.
I'm gonna... To the people who are in... I guess the people who are in the back... I guess everyone can kind of hear. It's not a big wagon. I'm gonna go, So, just as just as a disclaimer, that thing that they were talking about, if we can avoid it, we should.
Oh, well, obviously.
Yeah, I don't like the sound of it. Especially if Gregor's going after it, that means it's a bad thing.
We don't want to encounter it at night.
I actually need more damage.
We don't want to encounter it at all, but...
Do you know what it is?
Night is bad.
You sound like you've got prior knowledge of this.
You guys went out, and that was great. And I was gonna stay in, but I had something I needed to do. So I went, and I was walking through, and I heard this weird noise, and I went to investigate it. And I think maybe either it can make itself invisible, or at night you can't see it, and it can really mess up a person. It likes to kill things.
Right.
What happened?
But
what did you see?
It's fine now, but it's pretty scary. It's a pretty scary thing.
Alright, we'll keep an eye out.
But we're aware of it now, so...
But it can make itself invisible, so just keep ears open more than eyes, I guess.
Yeah.
But if your friend is chasing it, then I'm sure it's fine.
Well, here we go. If
Invisible, huh?
anyone thinks they hear it and thinks they know where it is, let me know, and I'll see what I can
It
do about the
sounds.
invisibility.
It sounds like. It sounds like that bear thing, but worse.
Oh, I hated that.
Did it like mess with your mind like the bear thing?
No, no,
It's
it's
more
complicated, but I was fine.
Well, obviously.
But yeah, it just keep an ear out for like a weird laugh and like that bear-esque voice, but like it can form sentences.
Okay, well, everyone will be on the lookout. Don't you worry.
Okay.
And
We
trust me, I'm not going to go into detail, but I kind of know how to deal with invisible. Prior experience. I won't go into detail.
Wittig, as she's saying this to you, Carrick looks towards you, goes, "I bet you 5 gold by the time we find it." Gregor has it in like 5 pieces.
Always try it again at a different point. It's free to do. What do you mean?
Which kind of things?
I mean, like we'll be able to go to.
Yeah, I'll take you up on the bet.
Yeah, no problem.
Ooh.
Are you betting above or
If
below?
we don't get it done this time, we can always get it done another time.
I'll bet a equal. That he doesn't.
No,
have
I
to.
mean like as if there's more bits of the person or less.
Oh,
Less than 5 pieces or more than 5 pieces?
Yes.
I'd say probably more. I'd say probably maybe 8.
He's fond of dismemberment, isn't he, Krauser?
Shut up.
No, that was decapitation. That's different.
That's only 2 pieces. Quiet.
Ready when you are.
No.
And you got right back up. You were fine. You walked it off.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, someone
Ashka
patched up.
flashbacks.
So yeah, I guess we'll set up camp for the night, so we can get up bright and early for the rest of our journey.
Who is going to be on watch?
Where is the watch schedule though? I don't
Watch
know.
rotations.
Where did... Aha! I put it in the back. I thought-
Watch rotation.
King doesn't actually sleep, so probably her.
You have to rest at some point though, so...
You have to meditate.
It depends who
I
wants
did.
to RP with who.
Me and Renara, I'm Renara.
Me and
Posey.
Me, myself, and I.
Me, myself, and I.
Me, myself, and my god.
Myself and I.
Posey, do you want to take first watch with me?
Yeah, I can.
Damn you,
Or
Kay,
as we
you
like
beat me
to
to it.
Or as we like to call it, Kay doesn't get to RP enough because he doesn't get to be here
Yeah,
enough.
that's
So he's
true.
taking his
Kay's not here
chance.
half the time. Okay.
Mum says it's my turn to roleplay with Posey.
Christ, is that a mood?
Yeah. I forget
Yes, I
Wittig
cast
doesn't need
alarm
to
as
sleep.
a
I don't know why
ritual.
I bothered.
I mean, yeah, technically I don't need. Technically, I need to be inert,
Rested.
but I don't have
Okay.
to sleep.
You're still
But
perceiving.
it is him.
I'm still able to perceive everything around me.
There's 4 2-hour watches.
Blue,
so
I sent
Yeah.
you a reply, by
I
the
can
way,
just swap.
on Twitter.
Twitter,
there's-
okay.
there's-
Well, let's just do it watch by watch.
Yeah. And then we'll decide till we wake up in 2 hours' time.
Yeah.
Do what you do in like
Can't we-
after a session where you just stay up and you talk till like 2 a.m.
It's literally what we
That's
do.
a roast. Don't do this to me.
Whoops.
How dare you?
I fucking,
Occupational
I
hazard of
fucking.
being my friend.
We're all there for it. You bring out our inner insomniac.
It's infectious.
Okay, so it's Runara to begin with Post.
Let's check first.
Fucking stole my
Oh, yeah.
slot.
I'm gonna
Just
cast
take
it,
alarm
take it
as a
in.
ritual.
real perceptive.
Make
perception.
I'm assuming you're about to say perception, but you are roll perception.
yes.
But if not,
It's what? No, it's a Constitution saving throw. No, it's a perception.
Ah!
Posey, there's a big fire in your face because of the campfire, and you're like, my dark vision is useless because I can't see because this is a brighter light source in front of me. Fuck. I can see Runara and my friend's asleep. Yay!
Yay! That's all I need to see. Right? That's how watches work.
I guess you're distracted from the thoughts of the creature is what I would interpret it as.
Posey
I'm gonna-
distracted by fear? God forbid.
I am going to set up my little nest and just kind of sit and get my little amulet, my little journal, and start writing stuff down. Kind of muttering to myself as per usual.
Mm-hmm.
hey Posey.
Yeah?
What you writing?
Oh, I'm just, I keep notes on the day and stuff. Just gotta shut it and hold it.
Oh.
Uh,
I didn't mean to interrupt if you were.
Oh no, it's okay.
Keep
It's
writing.
just sometimes if I'm, with other people and they get kind of weird about me constantly talking to the moon, I just kind of write it down.
Oh no, I mean I get it. It's alright.
I mean, what do you have?
I mean I talk
I imagine.
to the sun, but not
Yeah. Right?
openly, like in my head usually.
You can do that.
I mean, I think the words and it's like I'm saying it out loud, but in my head. So.
Oh wow, that's so cool. I can't do that. I have to, say it out loud. I think
Okay.
maybe it could talk to me in my head. I don't know. I've never tried it. I've never needed
try
to
it
try it.
sometime. If you're surrounded by lots of people, just try it, and then no one else can hear what you're saying. But
Oop.
so
Hello, Blue?
just put that in again.
Okay.
Please stand by.
Jesus.
Keep going.
This sorry to bring it up again, but this creature you saw that's apparently somewhere on the road.
Oh right, yeah, it might be about.
Where exactly did you see it? Was that in Neverwinter or?
Yeah, I was walking through like the more residential areas. It was in like a. I couldn't tell if it was in the house or the alley, but yeah, there was a noise and a smell, and it wasn't pretty.
What do you mean? What sort of smell? Like
You know how bodies rot.
Oh right, yeah. Not personally, but I get it. Get that in mind. That'd be very nice.
Right.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
yeah. Sure.
I mean, you're a healer though, right? You've got to encounter like
I
some
mean,
nasty stuff.
I mean, I can heal. I wouldn't say I'm a healer.
Isn't that the same thing? If you can heal, you're a healer.
I mean, it's like saying you can stab people, but you're not an assassin. That was too smart. That was far too smart for my character to say.
Blue, we're not allowed emotional journeys. through facial
Damara in the
expression.
background just like.
I've
Depends who
never
you
stolen.
ask.
Soul, but I'm not a
The
soul.
thing is that I just
I'm
imagine
not
Wicked
sold.
just sitting there, just
No.
like listening to this conversation, just like, I'm not gonna say anything.
You can't call me a thief. You've never seen me steal anything.
I mean, yeah, maybe you have a point.
I don't know. But it's like I can yeah, I can do it. Like Ronog lets me do it, but I don't know. I like to do other things with what she gives me. You know.
Mhm. I completely get it. I can. I have a couple things I can do, but I like the spells. The spells are fun.
Those are fun.
It's also less scary than being, having to be right next to something.
I mean, I don't mind being next to things. Like,
I mean,
it's part
yeah,
of the,
but
it's
you're
part of the.
brave and you have armor.
I mean, I have armor.
I do not really, other than this thing. But
Like, I try and be brave. It's difficult sometimes.
but you're so good at it.
Yeah.
You're very good at pretending.
Thanks. I'll try.
Kiss.
Shut up, you.
Stop!
Not yet.
It's a slow burn, Das.
Give it
Fuck yourself, man.
next Christmas.
We're forming natural bonds. It takes time.
Fake.
Yeah. I still get
Cool.
scared.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Normally
same,
be
but
scared.
I'm scared a lot of the time. But I think I'm starting to realize that that might be just, how things are right now.
Things can be scary, but not as scary when you've got people next to you.
Or people to, push in front of the bad things, and then I'm like over
I
here.
mean, if you need someone to push you in front, then I'll be there. Okay.
I very much intend to push you in front. Yes.
Thank you. Stop pushing too hard. I don't want to
No, that would be I think worse. Because then you're on the floor and then I'm trying to get away and.
And don't go running off. I mean, you can push me in front, but don't then go running away at least.
You don't have to outrun the monster. You just have to outrun your friend you tripped over.
It's like I need someone to have my back at least.
I mean, you got Kika and King.
That was a bit strange, so.
Oh right, Team Normal People. Yeah.
Exactly. Do you remember?
Okay. Blue cannot take that fucking joke seriously.
I love how, when that's said, literally everyone who's not normal, all in their beds just roll over like.
We're like sparkly.
I've never once in my life been normal, and I do not intend to start.
Sparkly birds, metal people, skeleton people.
Yeah, and they all know the king and shit. That's so weird.
They all know each other, and it unnerves me.
Is that a cult or a religion at that point?
No, I don't think it's a cult. I think they're just all related to people that know each other, so then they
That's
know each
kind
other.
of a cult when it's established.
I mean, it's more for family than a cult.
Isn't that the same thing?
I mean, no.
A cult can be a family.
Cults
Wait.
follow.
Fun fact, by
Something.
definition, there is no difference between a cult and a religion.
Nope. Thanks, BG. Borrowing that one.
Cults normally, I guess, follow something bad. Families don't really follow anything, they just follow each other, I guess.
That can be bad.
Following each other can be bad, you're right.
Go on my turret. Make me
Maybe
proud.
they are a cult.
This is a very fine line. I don't know how to negotiate it.
we should keep an eye on them. If they are a cult.
What
they
I'm
could-
saying is that we've
they
joined a
could be
cult,
evil.
and maybe that's okay.
I thought cults are evil. The cult's not evil?
Not all cults are evil.
Hashtag not all cults.
Hashtag not all cults.
Blackout. We gotta defeat it.
I mean, I think there are some cults that are fun.
Oh, really?
You didn't even know we were going for.
This could. I mean, I don't know, but
I mean, I'm having fun, so I guess
I guess this is a cult by that logic.
we're a fun cult.
Damn you two.
I guess we're in a fun cult.
We're the
Your
only
fault.
two normal people in a fun cult. Cool.
Is this a cult?
There's probably chests as well.
I mean,
Legitimately nice people. Is this a cult?
seems fake.
D&D
Don't
in a
trust it.
nutshell.
At this point, Wittick's just gonna kind of pop up a little, or just kind of
Like,
chime
I
in,
just
like,
remembered Whittaker's still awake.
yeah, I'm still awake entirely. Just kind of go.
Annoyed.
To be honest, I don't think we're a cult, mainly because my master has told me about some cults, and they're not great.
Yeah, but
That's what a member of a cult would say.
your master's a drug addict.
Yes, true. But he's also seen some shit.
Is he? That's
I
weird.
mean,
Basically, what I'm saying, he used to be part of a cult. No, he's not.
he did. I've not heard
You're a
about that.
former cultist?
He's
Once you're a
technically,
cultist,
yes,
then
a
you're
former
just a
cult.
Be
cultist for life.
an ex-cultist.
An ex, a robot. Okay.
I wonder if there's a right.
He's a
I'm,
robot.
you know, I don't know all of you people. I'm trying to kind of hold it all together and like, okay, so you're a robot that was made by an ex-cultist.
I wasn't made. I was just taken under the wing of.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He was taken under the
Okay,
wing.
you were
Adopted
adopted
is the
by a
best word.
former cultist.
A drug addict ex-cultist
I wonder if there's anything in the
who
The
happened
drugs
to,
actually happened after. You know, it's a long.
This is all very complicated.
who happens
Yes.
to have saved most of the Sword Coast, which is strange.
How hard
Do
is it?
cultists do that?
Drug addict ones do.
I feel like I'm getting some very mixed signals from this conversation.
Please, for the love and honor of God, never stop this RP.
It's so funny because as players, we understand how it
Exactly
works.
what's going.
We know the relationships, but we're
He
literally
has
like,
no idea.
it's literally like, describe this person, wrong answers only.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is, to save the world, you have to be an ex-cultist, soon to be drug addict. Full stop. That's it.
I think I'm gonna stay off doing that. I think I'll be
Same.
fine without saving the world.
Same.
Or you know, being
I was gonna say, I'm gonna stay off the world, but drugs? I'll go for drugs.
I mean, we're cultists now apparently, so we're already halfway there. We'll
Fuck,
try and
wait.
we'll try and do the cultist bit and not the drug bit.
Yeah, we'll avoid we'll avoid the drugs and the saving of the world. You know, we'll just stick with the cult.
Sure.
Oh, no.
Oh god.
Are we meant to be? You haven't heard any like weird laughing or anything, right? We're good.
No, I mean Kika made some weird noise in her sleep, but
Like Kika just does that, I think.
oh bless her. It's like a weird squeaking noise.
It's like a
I
hiccup.
don't-
She dreams.
Yeah, and
That was.
I don't know. All of them are very weird.
Okay.
they're all
Very
sorts of
strange.
things.
Don't quite know Stanji, but that's.
Well, at least some of us are normal.
Okay, right.
Right, who's next?
I'm gonna try that thinking to the moon thing, but we should probably also wake up next watch because I'm tired.
And we will
Who's
wait.
gonna be on next watch?
I guess I'll
Who's gonna
volunteer.
try and beat that conversation?
I mean, I'm not gonna even try to be honest, but I'll take next watch, I guess.
I'll take it as well. Let the
Oh,
drunk
drunk in
I'm
the
sit
babe.
with the bird.
Before we wake them up, I will get my mug out of my bag and just put it on top of the boxes of wine.
Splits through these last few levels.
That is a power move.
Like he thinks I'm going to be using a mug.
Yeah, and then we can start.
You are a mug.
Oh sweet, you left a mug out for me.
After they've gone to sleep, King's going to say to Winnick, a delightful example of the Raven paradox.
The what? Paradox?
The Raven paradox,
Commander, because we're not playing as the commander.
taking evidence to mean other evidence. The Raven paradox states that all ravens are black by observing a raven and seeing that it is. Then, if something is not black, then it is non-raven. For example, this green apple is not a raven and it is not black.
Right.
Poor way of thinking is the point.
Yes. Yes.
Use your character. King, I'm trying to sleep. Stop giving me paradoxes.
No, it's Argo.
You're
Dad, I
cool,
can't go to
bitch.
sleep without my bedtime paradox. Ah!
Since we're probably up almost all night, she'll probably say, cards or chess, we could play dice, but it would be too loud.
Let's do some chest.
I was gonna say if you do dice, you could just do offices and offices and employees lounges. Well, offices and bosses would probably be the best.
I think it's houses
version.
and homeowners.
That's the one.
No, it's rights and responsibilities.
Ugh, too real.
You look at it for
Yeah.
about 5 seconds. You look at the rule book and you just go, "No, fuck that. That's kindling. Fuck those."
But
They don't like
King says, I am a bit adept at chess. I am not so good at cards. We'll probably play a few games with Whittaker as the night goes on.
If you have a chess skill, which would be intelligence, check if you don't have it. That's basically what you can do.
Sure, they're just friendly matches, but why not?
Yeah, you may as well see. Who knows? Wouldn't it be hilarious if the wizard just keeps losing at chess?
What am I doing?
If you don't have a
Intelligence.
chess skill, just make an intelligence check.
Oh dear.
Single what?
Oh no.
You have flashbacks to having to go up against Varys in chess when you were beginning to be reforged.
There's more
Varys was
skills.
not fun to play chess against. You lost in
Yeah.
3 turns. You can only lose in 4. You don't know how he was able to do it.
King's not too bothered. It's just friendly matches, just something to do to pass the time.
Literally. We'll say if you do that for like 3 more nights, I'll say that Wittig will have become proficient in chess.
Oh, excellent.
The end of the world will be decided by a chess check.
It's happened. Challenge
Would
you
devils
like to
to
play a
chess.
game?
This is gonna take fucking ages.
Nobody will get that reference. Would you like to play a game?
We all know that reference.
War
It's
games?
on me.
Okay. People who are up next, it is Serenus and it is Kika.
Yes.
Posey and Runara go to bed. Runara leaving a very wonderful dwarven mug atop the casks.
Tankard. It's
Tankard, yes, thank you. It's basically like the game 2 tankard. It's a big bastard. You know, you can appreciate the size of.
Ah,
Yep.
tankard. I place the tankard on the floor and just pick up the box.
Hey!
Like that one.
Yes.
Nice.
Got a few of those going around, apparently.
I bought him that one.
Yeah.
Not
It
this
was
one.
the second to last one, and I wanted to buy another one just because the guys behind me were cunts. But I decided to leave one.
Oh, my
That one's
2016
nice.
BlizzCon.
Looks
That's
lovely.
for now.
Ones with the lid would be nice for my benign essential tremors, actually.
Hmm. So, Kika.
Yeah.
Serenus,
Yeah.
give me perception checks for your watch.
Okay.
I love that the drunk is more perceptive.
Yeah.
Who's more perceptive, a drunk or a child?
Wait.
spending
Would I also have a bit of benefits to it due to dark vision though at night?
Well,
No, dark vision will let you roll without disadvantage, basically.
Fair.
Right.
and because of, give you an idea right now, because of the way that the campfire is, you're all around the campfire. That kind of like blocks out dark vision. You need to be in the dark to actually use it,
Got
but
it.
because it's on your peripheral, even if like you know your eyes are trained, like you've gotten your eyes used to the dark, and then there's a light, suddenly what you can see changes entirely. I know this as somebody who's been working in dark pits. It fucking sucks. But that's basically the case of it.
You're spending most of the
So-
time basically just going, I don't think you should be drinking that while you're on watch.
Shh. It's fine. It's just a little bit.
But we're supposed to be making sure
Just a
that
little bit.
there's stuff around. There
Right,
might be.
watch me. I'm just gonna take just a pebble from the floor, and can I see anything in the distance? Just anything.
You see grass to one side, you see grass to the other, you see a road about 10 feet away from you.
I'm gonna aim and just like not magic on it. I'm just gonna throw it the pebble
Not
to the right.
100% sure.
Just going to throw it up onto the road. Just ding, 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 up against the gravel.
See, my aim is still fine.
Fine enough to hit a road.
I couldn't see anything else. There was nothing else. So, you blue bird,
Yeah.
Rose buckles.
why are you blue?
Because
Oh my God, Sarah! You can't ask them why they're blue.
I knew someone was gonna say it.
Suddenly turn blue.
Blue.
Cause bitch, it's you.
Because those are my colours. It's like your hair is brown. My feathers are blue and purple. I was just born that colour. I mean, mum's blue, which is probably the main reason why.
I said I've never actually met an Aarakocra before.
Yeah, most people haven't. They tend to stay in the mountains. Mum and Dad are kind of the first to come down in a long time. Most just stay in the mountains because they like being up high, and a lot of people generally like being alone as well. But I think that's more of a habit thing more than anything else. But yeah, but I mean, even amongst us, I will say that me and Kayak are a bit unusual, which again I think might be because Mum was a bit weird as well. So the sparkly thing is we don't all do that. That is a bit, but it's nice though. I don't mind.
You look over and there's just Kayak just curled up more like in like a circle thing, just wrapped up with the wing then above everything else, like a big blanket over his head.
Must be nice to have family though, like.
Oh yes.
Mum and Dad.
Yeah, I miss them a lot.
Yeah. I don't really don't really remember much of my parents.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. We used to live on the outskirts. Well, we used to live on the outskirts of a tribal small little place. Me and Mum. Then
Do you know what happened? If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to say if you don't want to.
Eventually.
I take a big swig. I don't remember much. It's very foggy kind of stuff, but all I remember is running and screaming and just eventually just being where, finding Thunder Tree and being there.
You were running from what?
I can't remember. It was this big creature tried to get me in the forest while I was trying to, the Plight, the town was on fire. People were scared and I was told to run. And I ran into...
One sec. That's the sound of the penny dropping. 1 sec, I've got it now. And I can't be meta about this. That's the sound of the penny dropping. I can't be meta about it.
I'm going to go back to the me and Blue's face was like...
I'm literally just here watching you two.
Yeah, okay. Okay, give me 2 secs because I need to take that in, but I can't say anything about it because that's not something Kika would know. It's something
Absolutely not.
It's something that Kirok would know, but she's not here. I need to pick this up now.
I thought it'd be a good time to do this before you asked.
Cool. Okay, so carry on. Kika doesn't do any of that because she doesn't know jack about what you're describing, but I do.
Or what, or who, or...
So it was just... I tried asking Master who it was, but he didn't know much, or maybe didn't want to tell me. It was just this giant creature tried to get me, and I think I got away, or he stopped. I'm not too sure. I eventually found, kind of just passed out and woke up in a small hut. A woman helped me after a little bit until I didn't feel safe there, though. I don't remember much about her. My master said she was a elf something, like a ghost. I wasn't too sure what he meant.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I eventually found master, and
Have you ever thought about, going back?
I tried once, but I couldn't make it all the way back there. Too many memories from.
So you don't wanna?
I don't really know, but there's nothing there for me, really.
It might be
My
a family.
fam-
There might be a family.
I don't think so. I wouldn't like to go back there and find out that they did die.
Oh, yeah, I suppose that would be sad.
Majestic.
I'd rather live in just the idea that I don't know, rather than living in a world where my parents are dead.
Schrodinger's parents. Until the backstory gets looked at, you don't know whether or not they're dead.
Yeah, this is a great topic for Kika, whose parents are missing.
Oh, you're fine. They're heroes.
I mean, we've gotta go mid Tribor at some point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could go like a different way if you don't want to go there. I don't want to make you uncomfortable if you don't want to go.
My master taught me a way to figure out my feelings and stuff. After a while, I think I could do it now, but maybe eventually. I'm not too sure. At this point, Serenus is just a bit like confused and just a bit muddled up in his words. It's just all the emotions about like what happened and the flashbacks of all of it kind of running through his mind. He's a bit like trouble. But anyway, how are you doing though? You
Seamless topic change.
But enough about
my life.
me.
How are you?
look.
Smooth as a sheet of gravel.
Literally, one of Serenus's things is he doesn't really understand conversation properly and just says what's on his mind. So he can just instantly go into an awkwardly.
I mean, I'm trying not to think about it, because when I think about it, I think that I'm probably not okay. So I'm trying not to think about it. So,
Not being okay can sometimes be a good thing. Keeps you aware, keeps you understanding that you always know that instead of being relaxed, you're aware, you're cautious of what's around.
I mean, I'm kind of like that anyway, but at the moment it's like up times like a million. Everything's really scary.
It's a scary place right now, but as I said, we're gonna find all this stuff and find your parents and the heroes of old, and we'll be able to stop whatever's happening in this world.
Well, I mean, I'm just a little nervous because I've never really been. I mean, I'm not alone now, so alone's not the right word, but I can't think of another word. There's always been somebody else there, and now there isn't, and I don't like it, and I'm not used to it.
It does sound troubling. It does sound like it's something that.
I mean, I guess you can't really. It's kind of different. You're kind of like the opposite from me, so I suppose it's hard.
Besides me and my master, I've always been alone. It's just me, myself, and I.
Oh, there's always been somebody. And now it just feels like it's just me and Kayok, and that's just the two of us.
Yeah.
I'm really scared, and I don't want to lose him either because everyone else seems to have gone.
You like look over and he's just changed position and he's just he's in the anime sleep pose, like leg cocked up to the side on his back, snoring.
I wouldn't trouble yourself about losing that hunk of meat right there.
There's the slight cocking of the head. That's my brother.
Posey, oh, sorry, not Posey. Kika is just immediately not baby anymore and gone. Excuse me, that's brother.
That's my brother.
Stop that.
Oh, you're not the first person to say that, I guess.
He's a strong boy.
Oh yeah.
He'll be fine.
Oh, he's one of the strongest people I know. And I know
The thing is
I
with-
know lots of people.
That's a good thing he's with us then.
I'm much glad that he's with us than with other people.
Yeah.
Just hear him roll over.
So, do you drink?
No.
You spice?
Space.
Would you? I said it does. It can sometimes help if you would like a drink.
How old are you, Serenus?
Serenus has to think for a moment on this.
Check
Oh,
his
dear.
character sheet.
I'm not too sure. I feel old, but I look young.
I will say this, King and Widdick, you're still up if Widdick any sort of Big Brother vibe immediately kicks in when someone tries to offer baby sister a drink of whoa.
Also, the reason why
She's okay.
I'm confused,
So
the reason
it's-
why I'm
it's
actually
wine.
confused is
They give it
because
to fucking children in church. You're good.
the reason
Damn it,
why I'm
Nick.
confused about my age is because I'm old, like in my late 20s, but because I kept going to other places that I didn't age so much, I'm younger, but then I had potions that made me younger. So I'm kind of
Feywild
all over the
be like
place.
that.
So what you're saying
You
is,
have no idea how common of an issue this is.
So I'm like mentally like 30, but physically like 20.
Yeah,
This rate?
This is a very
Bi- bi-
relatable problem.
basically what you're saying is you have 4-day Roman. Roman is technically 4,000 years old in his head, but body-wise, he's only 500 or 400 or something.
If even.
But
Which is
I
why he's
mean,
like, oh, I don't know what the fuck to do with my life anymore. Oh,
Drugs.
drugs.
hey,
It's either drugs or lichdom at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, Bluebird, like
That's why I said
I
it
was-
now
I
and
was-
not when you had a chance to make him, motherfucker.
I was drinking. I drank a little bit here and there when I was young. One sip won't hurt.
I'm okay, thank you. I don't want to.
Okay. I finish off one of the boxes.
Over the course of 4 hours, and you have that moment of you have the sip, and you keep having the sip, and you keep having the sip, and now you are on your back. The ground is nice, it's warm. Sleep time feels like now time.
I then just pass out.
Oh dear.
Suggest that both of them come and play games, but see them as too drunk and just leave him.
You
are
end your
sure
you
you're
end your
okay?
watch. You end your watch playing games with the others because they just grab him going, no, he's fine. He's fine.
Kika actually does know to play chess. I don't know where she learnt it from, but it's on her sheet.
As if Varys wouldn't make her learn
I was
chess.
gonna say Varys.
No, you learned from Turk because you learned from somebody who could beat
Oh, now
Varys.
they get a natural 20!
King. It's like, oh, she's like, she might not know too much, and she beats you in 4 turns.
She's a
And
baby.
it's like, wait, what? You have that moment of, like, whilst you were impressed, there's the moment of recollection of going, where the fuck did this come from? It's like seeing somebody who's like 4'5" lift 400 pounds. It's like, okay, I'm very impressed and congratulations, but where the fuck?
So you basically, that's it.
I wish I could lift 400 pounds. Then I might be able to lift half of you.
You're quite talented at this game, Kika.
I think that might have been a little bit more luck, but yeah. Thank you.
They say that chest is related to leadership ability. It's entirely untrue, but it's nice to think.
Oh, I don't know.
I think you have many powers that you're unaware of.
Oh, that's kind of you to say. I mean, I'm just me, so there's not really much else to say other than it's me.
Yeah, I'm showing the picture.
You're a very charming individual.
It's really sweet of you to say. And very nice person as well.
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
I feel like I need
She's
to
a baby.
I feel like I need
She's
to
a
clarify
zombie.
to the people who have just tried to offer her alcohol. She is a baby. She's got baby feathers.
Yeah,
Shh. I did nothing. Serenus did nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
We tried
Oh,
to
dear.
get Kira drunk. We will try to
it
get
is
you
not
drunk also.
necessarily a compliment, but a statement of fact. It was something that may serve you well in the future, but may also become a burden.
Oh, I don't want to be a burden to anyone.
It would only be a burden to you, dear.
Towards the end of your watch, Kika, with people saying so many different things, you just like had this weird energy about you, and you can just hear something moving from behind you, and character just walks up, wraps his like hands like wings around you, goes, "People keep talking shit to my sister. Anyone does it, I'm hitting with a hammer," and just pulls you and just like goes, "Big brother cloak, like essentially caping over you with the feathers, like." No more talk. She gets sleep now.
Oh, I know something you can do for if you come over to me.
Okay, I guess good night. Have fun with the game.
She
We
says
will be-
by like leaving down like the last chess piece for like another checkmate as she leaves. Or better yet, Wittick, you were playing chess with King at a point, and as she leaves, she just moves one piece in place, and suddenly, Wittick, you get a checkmate on
You see
King
that
from it.
ledge down there?
By this way, this entire time I haven't touched a single chess piece. I just keep using Mage Hand.
Yeah, you're that
Worse.
bitch. You're that extra bitch.
Hold on. What do I got?
Fucking Magneto.
You want to
and-
see if you have Mage Hand, don't you?
Go down.
It's just Magneto and Xavier in the park at the end of one
I've
of the
got
next
mage hand.
I know.
Magneto choosing.
Sorry, Sorcerer Paladin. Let's
It's
try
more
again
relaxing
later.
for her to use.
I mean, I have shocking grass. So I can fucking shock the shit out of him.
That's a bit extreme.
Let me just move. Oh, sorry, my bad.
You
Every
beat me.
time-
You beat me at chess, Taser.
Every time he loses, he smashes it with a sword.
It's not me being extra. It's just easier for me to cast Mage Hand than actually use my
Charles,
arm that I have to
you're,
use all day because I've
mic
only
is
got
muted
one.
as well. Oh no, you're not. You're
I
there. Sorry,
think-
you're there.
I think at a certain point, Aaron, that's classed as conditioning.
Oh dear God.
But I'm offering
Although-
no reward.
You
So
are.
it's not
The
conditioning,
reward is no
technically.
more sharks. No more sharks. No more sharks.
Sharks.
Stop.
Suddenly sharks.
Roman just runs into the ocean, comes back with a bull shark, and just beats you with it.
I think the IRL group has one brain cell today, and Nemo's the one who has it.
It's his
Why do
turn.
I have it?
It's your turn.
Fine.
Because you're the one who's
You're the
just had
Eldritch Entity.
You're the one who's just had a coherent conversation while we're here going sharks.
Sure.
Duncan, sharks!
Sharks?
No.
Da,
There's
da,
no Duncan here. Go to bed.
da, da.
That's an item for you.
Baby.
Da, da.
Okay.
One second. Yeah, right.
Okay, that won't end well. The
May-
next
maybe-
monster will have a unique addition to fucking going for you. So, considering you have your two sleepless individuals, your time, unless anyone else wants to do any other roleplay, comes to a quiet end. You pack up your things in the morning, and Oh, you've been making progress on that. Nice.
Yeah, it was mainly because I was like, I know I'm not really going to be RPing this during this whole thing, so I'm like, I'm just gonna just done it up on a digital scale.
Nice, nice.
But anyway,
So, you guys make your way. In the mornings, you pack up your things, and you continue heading your way to Port Larst. I take it we're going to have the same procedure of people.
Mm-hmm.
So, can I get another perception check
I'm back.
from... sorry, King, what was that?
you're saying
I said I'm back. I had to go for a second.
Oh, okay. And Serenus, give me a perception check too, please.
It's a log.
Okay. I like how he says, it's a log in the background as if that's the result of the perception check. You see a log.
It's a log. Congratulations, it's a log.
Congratulations, you found nothing! Oh, Zelda games. So, you continue to make your way, and maybe about halfway through the day's journey, Serenus, you can see something like essentially all the grass is on lower banks on either side of you, like the road's at a higher point. And as you're going, you see maybe about 60 or 70 feet off on the western side of it, so on the left side of the road for you as you're traveling, you see something that looks like it's disturbed the grass, and it's probably like maybe 2 or 3 foot high grass, but there's a lot of like disturbances and you know the kind of vibe of like people running through it, but the whiff hits you immediately. The smell of blood.
I'm gonna stop the carriage for a second. So
The mule
stop
cease.
Stop Sven, Ross, Ironwood, and everyone's
Kevin.
favourite, Kevin. Did you
He
remember
says
that?
he does the long delay to make sure he fucking remember. And everyone's favorite, most superb, wonderful boy, the Kevin.
I stop it all.
We need profile pages for all the donkeys so that we can have pictures
No.
of them.
No, go away.
Curls gave us pictures of our horses.
Over several months and badgering. It took months of
Y'all
badgering.
sourced them yourselves. I didn't need to do anything. Anyway, we're crossing streams again.
Yes.
So I stop the horse and the mules and turn back to I'm gonna need everyone up here, Bronto. There is something not right near us.
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
About 60 feet, I'm pointing the direction that way. There's a smell of blood and something's not right.
Shh. I think we should listen.
I
Anyone
cast
want to
Mage
make
Armor.
perception checks?
No! I think we're all listening.
Make perception checks.
Should I make another one?
No, you're fine,
same.
and Runara, you're fine. Those are going to be your checks. Anyone else who would like to make one can do.
I'm gonna jump off the wagon and start strolling slowly towards, like, keeping an eye out
Carrick
as
as
best
well.
I can.
Carrick just flies up as well.
And
Like he
make
flies
sure
up a height.
Everyone stay near the wagon for now.
Yeah, Wittick like basically takes the lead as you guys are trudging through, and it's like maybe 3 foot high grass, so you know it's brushing up against, you know, knees and thighs and waist areas, and you're making your way over, and you can see where essentially it's the equivalent of a lot of grasses. You know, like say when people have walked through and like there's the low, like the grass has been lowered down by them, and eventually it'll straighten back up. There's a lot of those going, like say from where you guys are roughly. Towards like the south side of this, there's a lot of things going inward, but Carrick from above can only see 2 that are actually leaving, and they're like messied up. And when you actually end up looking, it's a fucking mess. There are chunks and chunks of meat, ripped, carved, torn, hacked off of something. just strewn about the place. And this entire, like, maybe 10-foot space is just a gore fest. It is crimson everywhere. And the grass is very heavily, like, pushed down as well. There's maybe 3 or 4 bodies. You can only really tell because you're not sure if the parts of one of the heads are there or not, and you're trying to count. But there's at least 4 dead people.
Humanoids. Can we tell?
Currently indescribable. You can tell that there's a rib cage there.
But we can't tell if they're
You can tell there's a
people
femur
or
over there.
monsters.
You could make an investigation check. Or medicine, actually. Medicine.
Yeah.
You're trying to identify bodies.
27.
27. You can tell that there's a lot of people here who have taken lacerations and eviscerations, as well as one of the rib cages looks as if the ribs have actually, like, from spine, have been pushed through and ripped out.
Oh, it's been blood angeled.
Oh no, Blood Angel would imply that the lungs were ripped and flown over, or the kidneys were.
Shit.
This was literally
The
like
Eagles, by the
fucking
way.
Johnny Cage's fatality,
Oh.
kind of, but
Eagles.
fully ripped. And there are slices, and the cuts are vicious, like jagged, uneven cuts. But the one thing you can tell, there are, sorry, Carlos, I will get, there are chunks and chunks of meat here with no owner. Curls?
I'm gonna run up to Runara and cast Protection from Good and Evil.
Oh, thanks.
Which you do, and for the next few minutes you have the advantages of Protection of Good and Evil.
I'm gonna say to Winnick, keep an eye on me for a minute as I sit in the wagon, and I'm going to send Cat to do some scouting while I go into his senses.
You look about, and you basically can see the same thing Kair can. You see pieces of people strewn about everywhere. Like, over like a few minutes, you can see that what it looks like here was like there were several people who got involved, and you can see the remnants of weapons. Longsword, great swords, shields that have actually been sundered, blades that have been cracked or broken, or other elements. There's a quiver with no arrows left, and an arrow and a bow that's been snapped.
Nice.
And whatever of these people were still here, this is maybe like 4 people. Like, you can get the strewn about remnants of metals and mails and leathers of people, but they've been torn to fucking bits.
How fresh?
Does
Sorry.
Real quick, I will just get to, because you rolled a 27, about 6 hours.
If I had the print on
Okay.
yeah.
I'm going to start heading in the direction that the grass led away from the.
With my aerial view, do I see any sign of anything currently alive?
Make a perception check, and Renara, the grass basically like where it leads off of goes back up onto the road.
Yeah, I'll head in that direction. And just see what else I see. Fine.
You follow it, and there is a trail of blood, but the blood stops after maybe 30 feet up on the ground and up further again. But this would have been fatal hemorrhaging levels of blood. But there's no body or anything.
I'm gonna go stand over with
does
Kika.
the actual
The imps,
handiwork
I can spawn on this one.
look like that of Gregor?
No. Gregor doesn't. I will say this for your sake as Wittick. Roman might have compared this to Gregor's work before because he's seen Gregor mad. He's seen
Right.
Gregor when he was bewitched. Gregor, as he is, doesn't usually go for these kind of kills on people. Monsters, he'll tear them apart. People, he won't do this to. But when you can see the blood and you're following the people, the fact that there's a distinct lack of blood after a point and no body as well as chunks being removed and no indication of who it's from. And by the way, I will say that for the sake of ease, those chunks, there were lines of like bits of fur, of this like grayed fur on all of them. So basically skin. So sorry, was there another question at the time? Was it Runara?
I've got another question, but I don't know if anyone
Yes.
else was first. You said so the blood sort of stops.
Yes.
Is the grass still flat around where the blood stops?
Where the blood stops, yes, and basically you can. The blood is all over the grass and up onto the pavement and back onto the road, and maybe 30 foot down the road it stops.
I'm just gonna
But there's
head.
no body.
I'm gonna head toward the end of where the blood is and sort of feel around and see if there's anything like invisible or.
Make a survival check.
Don't go too far.
Be
I
careful.
won't. I'm not even gonna roll guidance. I'm not even gonna roll guidance on that.
I will just get to King real quick, because King, you did roll a
Cool.
natural 20. You're looking about, you see the remnants of people, and you can see that there's been like, I've emphasized it enough, but everything that I've said is basically what you get with your perception check. There is nothing else. From an
Okay, so
aerial
nothing
view,
alive.
which is your best, yeah, there's nobody. This was
Oh,
an
nothing
entire.
animate, I should say.
Nothing is moving right now.
Yep.
The only thing that's moving is the maggots that are coming up.
Ugh.
That's it.
I'll call Cat back and relay that to the others.
You're Adolf. Okay, you relay that back, and Runara, you're trying to follow tracks on a pavement or onto like a gravel. It's not really anything you can look at.
Lo will shoot a glance towards Posey and just sort of have a slight thinking expression on his face and go, "Visible, yeah?
What did you say? Sorry, you cut out for me.
Invisible, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is what it looked like.
Let me see if this can help.
About 3 times
And
already.
I'm going to
I wanted them.
cast Fairy Fire in the area to see if it picks up on anything.
Okay, so where are you casting it? Where are you casting where the blood ends, or are you casting it on the mess?
Where the blood ends only in relation to the fact that the grass is compressed in some way. Benefit of the doubt.
Okay, I'll say for the sake of ease that you cast out Fairy Fire, you aim to the area, you are unable to find
You
anything
can go and grab whatever's
that
left if you
is revealed. The Fairy Fires leave a beautiful trail and a beautiful like pattern in the area, but unfortunately, nothing is. And there's like a dim light about it for a little bit, but aside from that, nothing. Nothing and no one is there.
I think if it was here, we would have heard it by now. It likes to talk.
What did it say to you?
Just, your standard run-of-the-mill menacing.
I mean, I would say that by its definition, menacing isn't run of the mill or standard.
Oh dear.
I mean, it's not for you.
Hunting? Would you say that was hunting?
I think we won.
No, I think it does it because it likes it.
It's like a mongoose, like for out of character kind of comparison. Like a mongoose, it'll go into like a field of pheasant and will kill all the pheasant. Doesn't eat it; it just does it for fun.
Little shits.
Which one? The
It
yellow?
There's
must
a
be
reason you
pretty.
shoot them on sight.
Just as a note, it's probably pretty quick. Because if I saw it in Neverwinter, and then like less than a day later it was all the way out here, it's probably pretty fast moving.
Oh, that's pretty scary.
Okay, well, maybe we should keep moving. The longer we're here, the more of a target we are.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it will come anyway, but we can try moving.
Just remember, Posey, you're not alone with this. You got everyone around us. You got everyone around you.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Hey,
Let's keep moving.
hey, I've seen what these guys can do, and I've seen old Wittick there with his slice and dice thing. Look, if we can, if we
What?
if we can help, you're in a much better position than you are now. If you both.
There's an item I want to see if they've got.
I'm not. Yeah. Don't worry. I'm not.
No, they don't.
I think we should get moving.
What aren't you telling us? You clearly know
What?
this creature.
No, I don't. I just ran into it.
That means you kind of know it.
You know better than we do.
I mean, it's just things I've picked up from seeing it once.
You dream of wealth.
And things I was able to guess based on other things I've seen, but yeah, I don't think we should stay here. I have a hunch. It's a guess though.
I guess
Hunches
it's
are
better
good.
than nothing.
Hunches are good.
Oh,
Do you remember what they said about the prison?
Not a clue.
okay.
You weren't there for that.
So-
The prison kind of got exploded,
Yeah.
and a bunch of stuff came out, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I think
Pylons on next to.
this is one of the things that came out.
We have to activate all of these.
That's not a
and
bad
then
hunch.
spawns, and he's invulnerable to
So what you're saying is, okay.
We
Okay,
really
okay.
shouldn't stay here. We should
We
move.
can go.
can talk.
Let's
I
go.
can
Well
talk about this on the
advised.
wagon.
Let's keep moving.
Let's leave.
So
I
so we got these gift things.
Get on the
that's
car.
what you could. Getting on the car. Getting on the car.
Yeah, talking as we're moving.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay,
that's
that's important.
No.
Right. We got these gift things, right? And then you've got these weird jail things in the sky things. Yeah.
That's kind of part of the same thing. It's kind of hard to explain, but you're kind of getting it.
That's him.
That's reassuring. Okay. So maybe from what you just told me, then jails in the sky and gift things might be related. Therefore, that thing might be gift related.
No, the
maybe-
jail
No,
was
no,
already
the
in
jail
No,
was-
Neverwinter.
the Neverwinter prison is different from the place that had
Basically, if we
Gwen.
can kill him in one go,
That's
without
different.
any of the pylons reactivating,
Yeah.
then
Neverwinter prison was just where the bad things in Neverwinter went.
Hopefully, these individuals or things will be eventually brought to custody.
Yeah, well, it sounds like Gregor's on it, right? Is that his name?
Gregor, yes.
Yeah.
And
Generally,
his
he's pretty good
friend?
at this kind of stuff.
I know there's two
We
of
will
them.
report
but-
this to the appropriate authorities when we get to our next location approach.
That's just for reference for this little bit. I'm going to walk in maybe 10, 15 foot in front of the cart. Just keeping an eye out ahead.
Okay, keep a perception check then.
Yeah, at some point my protection will run out. It's only last
Yeah, it'll run out for like 10 minutes, yeah. But you did use it. It would have been helpful had it been encountered.
25.
25.
Nice.
Nice. You keep ahead of the crew, and your eyes are like a hawk, just glancing at everything. Under Barona's sky, you're just keeping eyes. And after 3 hours, you begin seeing things in the distance on the road coming towards you. People.
Yeah, there's a
Some on
silo
horseback, some aren't. All are bloodied. There's a small child with a little patchwork bear. It's just clutching it close.
whole town
And they're
being
running
raided.
past you. And as they're running, the little child's basically just been lifted up by a father. And they're just pointing back.
I know, he's
Help the
our
big
asshole
duck.
next time.
I start running.
Oh no. Oh no 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 no
You
no.
kick off. Horse is at speed. And after an hour of just booking it, you get up towards where the crossroad is into the city.
Just getting
It's a
weak enough for it.
bloodbath. Literally, all of the gravel around it is coated red. And you see Gregor.
Nope, probably right.
He's standing in his lycanthropic form,
No, I just need to
with the
survive.
sword out, swinging wildly. Every now and then, you're just watching as you're approaching. You can see sometimes blood is trailed off of a strike at nothing.
How close away?
You're maybe... He's a big bastard, so you can probably see him from about 300 foot off.
Okay. I'm gonna keep
There's
running
fire that's been
until I
like,
get 60 foot away.
set up about the areas, and it looks like there's either been guards that are around here as well or otherwise, but they're whatever is left of them is scattered. And you guys are looking, and as you are, you can just see Gregor just roaring out as you guys are running, maybe 250 foot out, and a huge portion of his chest gets ripped. It begins healing quickly, but there's a lot of wounds on him that are not healing quick. And he's...
Turns all your HP
That
into
chunk is
energy.
ripped off, and you just see it in the air. Everyone but Posey sees it in the air.
Bit of a risk.
You looked into its eyes before. You can see it.
Oh.
And you just watch it just devour that entire chunk. The rest of you just see essentially what would be equivalent of pulping of the flesh. But Posey, you see it. It's this maybe 6 foot tall, just muscle. Just you can basically just see nothing. There's no skin. It's all just muscle. And just flesh and veins and blood dripping. And as it takes its bite and it just like chows it down, there is no extension to its body. It doesn't seem like it bulges or anything like that when it feeds.
How far away are we?
200 foot.
Still just booking it as fast as I can for you.
No one else can see this.
Yeah.
You hear,
Das.
as you guys are approaching.
Hello? Hello,
Yes,
hello?
I can hear you.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, not until I'm done
How
with
far
this.
are we? Are we?
200 feet.
Okay. When we
So if you wanna swap
get
it,
to
then you can have it for
120
us.
feet, I will cast
It's unreliable.
It'll cost what?
Eldritch Blast at it.
Eldritch
When we get
Blaze.
within
Take
120
a
feet.
blast. Take a
Yeah.
blast at it. Take a shot at it.
When you get within 60 feet, I was going to
This
say
is the
fire,
result of a
You
bad wisdom save.
So I can tell Gregor's fighting something that we know is probably invisible. So
Mhm.
I'm just if Posey runs,
I've
I'm
given the
running
heads
after
up.
her.
You know,
Then,
Mm.
since we're coming up,
I mean,
and I've
just
got a
with everyone
chance
else. Yeah, that
beforehand.
seems about
Oh,
right.
wow.
it's gotta be the finish, right?
You're panicking, you're nervous, and it's the hand that it's slit up the side of, and you're aiming out and you just fire it off blank. But this is 120 feet away. As the blast fires past Posey, you can just see like the face, the torso, the head is looking towards Gregor,
This'll do me alright.
snaps towards you. And as you guys are
Hello
going,
again.
Should probably cast a teleporter.
oh, it's the spicy blood again.
Walk past it. Let's just let it go.
And as you guys are approaching, it's raining. You're bleeding.
Okay, we're not doing this again.
And that's where we'll start up next week.
Oh, jeez. That's fucking
Bruh.
charming.
My 0.5
Bruh.
session was a lot of fun, guys.
What the
Damn
hell
it.
happened?
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Jesus,
Big.
okay.
Big mood.
Might be the boss.
Cool. Cool.
I want to fight now.
I know, like, I haven't forced anything in D&D for what feels like 3 months.
Want to beat up some shit.
Wait 24 hours.
Oh,
Oof.
don't say that.
Okay, so I guess the stream's gonna end there. So,
Yeah.
thanks, guys, and tune in next week for whatever the fuck this is.
Yeah.
Which I feel like I say every week, but it's an accurate description.
It's
Tune
mostly
in next
whenever
week
it's
for
my
bad
sessions
time.
too.
More than likely, knowing Das, it's something from Bloodborne or something of that nature.
No, it's not Bloodborne.
Oh,
No,
Dark Souls.
that would be if it was me.
No, it's not Dark Souls either.
Or me.
It's somebody who's very iconic.
It's bad. It's real bad.
Okay.
Cool.
But I mean, I don't even have to show a picture because nobody else except the one person who has a picture has
No.
seen it yet.
We don't know what it looks
I
like.
don't know what it looks like. So, yeah, well, I guess we'll find out what it looks like next time.
Dragon Ball
Yeah, I'm
Z.
trying to fight a boss and cause fucking shopping.
Oh, that bombshell. I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.